Now we can see how to print our drawing. And to do that, we can use one of the paper spaces created. And so from model, we can switch to, for example, to A0. Okay. And the first thing to do is to set the printer merging and also to set the printer. So we can run File, and we can call File and then call the command plot, command of AutoCAD. And here we can set the printer name. We can use DWG to PDF. As paper size, we can select ISO A0. Okay, and after we can check the plot style table. Specifi has two CTB files, one for black and white or another one for colored. In this case, you can select a specified color. After that, you can please check to have activated the plot transparency. Okay. And we can click Apply to Layout. And after we can press Cancel. In this way, we can adapt the merging to our printer, to the selected printer. Now we can start inserting the viewports, okay, inside our sheet, A0 sheet. To do that, from Specify Layout section, we can call Sheets command. So we can click over there, okay, and at the top of this command, you can type also and identify a different name for sheet. Instead of A0, you can rename it if needed. Here you have all the disciplines, and general is the default one, but if you want also to add electrical, gas, waste, checking also the other options, you can generate an additional, in this case A0, because we are on A0 layout, an additional sheets for each discipline that you selected. We will see later also about this. We can decide also to insert the frame, and we can select the frame A0, A1. You already have some frames already loaded. And it's possible also using the browse to select a different path to load your own frames. The frames are just DWG files, DWG block that you can load. If you have your own frame with the header, you can load directly. In this case, we can leave a frame A0. On the left side, you can select how you want to manage the entire sheet. I mean, you can decide if you want to insert just a single viewport or two vertical viewport, and the software will divide the sheets in two viewports, one on the left and the other one on the right side, or two horizontal, okay, or two vertically plus one right, as you can see here, or in four viewports. In this case, we can start with a single viewport. So I select single viewport. In the middle, you can see just a preview with some information. You can see the scale factor of your viewport and also the point of view. In this case, we are using the plan. So we are watching from the top our drawing. You can also change to frontal, rear, or isometric, or elevation, camera, and whatever. First of all, we want to insert the plan view, so I come back to plan. As you can see, when I select plan, okay, here below you have some details related to the current viewport, the selected viewport. First of all, we can find the scale factor, and a scale factor, we can leave it for the moment 1.50. Shade plot style, okay, this will affect the shade plot property of the viewport. Okay, so when you print, you can decide if you want to print as displayed or in wireframe or in conceptual, realistic. You can apply the shadow, but you will apply the shadow only during the printing, not inside the viewport. And the reason is just to speed up AutoCAD, okay, and without applying any shading or color inside the viewport. Lock view, it's another property that permits to block the viewport in order to avoid to use a zoom command or pan command, just to do not lose the scale factor that we assigned. So we can activate lock viewport. Instead, auto size permits to the software to automatically calculate the dimension of the viewport, okay, based on the drawing size, the dimension of the drawing and the scale factor that we set here. Okay, we can press OK button now to insert the first viewport. This message appears. You just have asking to draw the viewport inside the sheet. I can press OK button. And now you have to draw the rectangle that corresponds to your viewport. For example, you can start from there and you can go there, for example, like this. As you can see, the viewport has been inserted. As we said, if we call the property of this viewport, okay, we can see here display locked, yes. So we blocked the viewport and shade plot as displayed, and also the standard scale 1.50. If you try to enter now inside this viewport with a double click, as you can see, you cannot find the AutoCAD toolbar, the vertical toolbar here. And if you try to make a zoom, for example, with the wheel of the mouse, okay, as you can see, it doesn't zoom inside your viewport. Even if you try to use pan command, it moves the entire sheet. Well, now we can try to insert another viewport, okay? And I can run again to sheets command, okay? Another plan view, okay? In this case, I select a different scale factor, 1.25. As shade plot style, we can leave it as displayed. But in this case, I don't want to activate lock viewport, just to show you the difference. Okay, button, and we can draw the second viewport. Like this, for instance. As you can see here, we have a different scale factor. Okay, we can also zoom in. And as you can see, the standard scale now is 1.25. Display locked has been set to no. Okay, now if I try to make a double click inside the viewport, okay, as you can see, you have the AutoCAD vertical toolbar that permits, for example, to select pan command and to move the viewport in order to center, for example, the area you want to focus on. Okay, and you can do like this. After that, if you have to exit from the model space, because now we are inside the model space, of course, I have to right-click exit from pan. Here you can select equipment or move equipment and change whatever is like to be in model space. If I want to exit, as you can see, the border thickness is different. Okay, I can make a double click out. Okay, or if you are inside, you can go there, here below, and model or paper space. You just have to press over model in order to transform to paper. Okay, and it's very useful when you have a big zoom factor like this, and you are inside the model. As you can see here, it writes model. And if you want to switch back to the paper, you have just to go over model and click over here in order to transform in paper. So now you can make zoom out and you will not lose the scale factor. So The difference between a locked viewport and unlocked viewport is this. Unlocked viewport, you can use a zoom pan, but the risk is to make a zoom and to lose the scale factor. Instead, the locked viewport, in locked viewport, you can enter inside, you can make a zoom, but it will continue to make a zoom on the entire sheet.